Okay, we're going to take a look at DiversionFX CM, which is a computer music exclusive plugin by Dimitri Shes that you can get on CM 176. And we're using Reaper today, but you can use this with any DAW. Now you'll see that we've already dragged in the hip hop beat 98 bpm.wav from the tutorial files hip hop folder on the CM DVD. We've put that on an audio track in Reaper, and we've set Reaper's tempo to 98 already and set it to loop around the file, so we can just play that back and have a listen to it. Okay, so now we're going to add DiversionFX CM onto our audio track. Now DiversionFX CM has 23 filter modes available that we can see by right-clicking the filter setting. So for the moment, let's just select analog LP1, which is nice and straightforward. Now this filter is self-oscillating, so we can use it to get some pretty cool effects. Now, if you're going to follow this, there's a little warning at this point. This will create some quite piercing frequencies, so you might want to turn down your computer's sound volume because you don't want to damage that or your ears at this stage. So let's turn down the level a little and turn up the resonance level to full. As we do this, you'll hear that it starts creating its own pitch that we can control by sweeping the filter cutoff knob up and down. Now, as well as the filter, the bus has a wave shaper. So right click where it says hyperbole to bring up the wave shaper menu, and let's select sine from the list. Now turn up the drive knob and now sweep the cutoff knob again. Now this will create a really nice crunchy sound. Now that's cool enough, but let's turn up the some of the lo-fi effects. Let's turn up the rate knob. Let's set it to about 33 and let's sweep the cutoff again. Now you can already hear that there's some really, really cool sounds coming out of this thing. We've barely scratched the surface of it. If you switch the lo-fi section from pre-filter to post-filter, you'll get a cleaner, crisper variation on the sound. Now, there's still plenty to play with in the bus section, but let's take a look at the mod matrix now. Let's start by setting the source of the first line to the multi-stage envelope generator 1. Set the destination of the first row to bus and then bus 1 filter cutoff. Turn up the modulation level to 100 and activate the envelope generator by clicking its power button. Turn the filter cutoff all the way down and then change the envelope mode to steps, and then click the option button and select time snapping 1 step. Now to create and delete points, you can right click the envelope, and let's just program in some kind of simple random pattern here just to get something going. Okay, this gives us a kind of sample and hold style filter effect. This sounds cool and everything, but we can hear a bunch of different effects by auditioning some of the different filter types. So to do that, we can just click the filter type in the bus panel. Format mode sounds pretty good, so let's stick with that. Now, DiversionFX CM has another bus, so let's activate that right now just to get a bit of the raw unprocessed signal. Let's turn down the level of bus 1 just down to like 23% or so that that's kind of like providing just a little bit of accompaniment to the kind of original beat. The buses also include bit depth reduction effects, so set the bit knob of bus 1 to 34.12%. Now we're going to use some of DiversionFX CM's multi-effects to process the sound further. Now you can apply these multi-effects to FX1, FX2 or the master. So let's start by just applying it to FX1, which by default bus 1 is routed exclusively to FX1. So let's select the Tremolo 1 effect from the list and turn up the mix level to 100%, so we've got maximum possible choppiness. Now you might find the effects go out of sync, but when you're adding them, but if you just stop and restart the sequencer, then they'll get triggered at the right point again, and you'll hear how it sounds properly. Next, set the first FX slot to distortion 2. Now we're just going to use this for a little bit of colour, so turn the drive down and turn up the treble and bass colour controls just up a little bit. Now, as I said, by default FX1 is the first bus is routed just directly to FX1, but we can route it a little bit to FX2 as well by turning up the routing knob in the bus on panel. So that gives us a bit of distortion and tremolo on the sound. It gives kind of like a rough, choppy effect. Now the final component of DiversionFX CM we're going to look at is the trance gate. Now you activate it by clicking the power button, and this really kind of like basically turns on and off the kind of volume of the whole thing. So you can use it along with this little step sequencer to create a kind of like, you know, a chopped up version of the rhythm that you can experiment with. Okay, so that's DiversionFX CM, and that's available on CM 176. Visit computermusic.co.uk for more details.